Hi Virgo, welcome to Mama Star X channel. Virgo, it's been a while since I've done one of these readings in English, but today I felt the inspiration to do so, so I hope that you don't hold it against me, at least for being quiet for so long. Virgo, I want to begin first of all by thanking you for being here and taking the time. I want you to know that I have my own style of reading cards. I am not a fortune teller. The reason being is because back in 2009, I had an awakening, and the experience or the result of that awakening led me to expand my understanding of this reality in such a way that I was able to see how powerful we are. You know, we human beings are very powerful beings, and we're walking around with amnesia, not really recognizing that power. And for me, the purpose of this reading is to read the energy based on the connections of those of you who feel in alignment or in affinity with my reading. But it's to tell you whether your energy is flowing in the way that is going to help you to attain your desires, or if there's something that you need to change for you to consider it. Okay? So my purpose is to find solutions. It's not to concentrate in the problem. And I'm saying that because the other day I had someone that I did a consultation, and she was asking me a specific question that was related to the reading, but it was also a doubt that she had. And after looking at the cards, it had nothing to do with her. So a lot of times, we listen to these videos to get a better idea of what's going on in the energetic world. Although we think that it's, I want to know what the other person is doing, or what's going to happen to me. Am I going to find love? Am I going to find success? The tarot, what it reads is energy. And what we're doing here as the mediator is to be able to translate these symbols. And for me, it's always to remind you that you are a powerful being, and it's about empowering you. It's giving you the tools that are going to help you and assist you to make better decisions. I am not here to make the decisions for you. And it's very easy for me to say, you're going to have love, you're going to achieve all of these things that you want to. And in the meantime, you're at home waiting, in doubt and indecision, and that vibration not allowing you to achieve what is rightfully yours. So, that being said, let's begin your reading. So I'm having some coffee, some espresso, because I love espresso. So Virgo, in this cycle, meaning from this reading to the next, the energy that came through in numbers was intuition. And it comes with 22, which is a master number. A master number means that there is some energies that we need to look deep within them, because it's not just what we see in the surface. There's more to it. Okay? So that's what we're going to try to do. That's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to take in this journey of what this number here, 2, is trying to tell us at a deeper level. And I hope that I do justice. Because when we're talking about intuition, we're talking about an energy that we feel. And it's hard sometimes to describe it in words. So I'm hoping that I can convey what the oracle is trying to say. So when I drew the cards of tarot, in the heart of your reading, the first card that came out was the 2 of Swords, the 2 of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. And interesting enough there, tarot is specifically describing the repetition of these 2. one in swords and one in pentacles. And swords represents your thoughts, your definitions, your concepts. Pentacles, your actions. But you have this page of pentacle here, which has a tendency to bring newness, freshness, or because it's so new, a level of immaturity to some degree. It doesn't have to, but it appears that way, right? In the surface, it appears that way. And when I look at this page of wands, it makes me feel like it's carrying the weight of this two of pentacles and this two of swords. Don't you see that? And this page is looking towards the future, but it's not moving. It's holding back. And maybe it's because there is something to do with all of this that it brings in its back, right? This page wants to move forward and it's already looking towards the future. However, the weight of the thoughts and the weight of the actions are being emphasized in the heart of this reading. When I clarify these cards, the Two of Swords is being clarified by the Star, another major arcana. And the Star is talking about a wish. It's probably a wish that we've had for a while. When I look at this card, it makes me feel like, we really want this, right? You see the cord into the heavens. It's like, I really want this. I feel it and I have to have it, right? It's coming. Let me see. Yeah, this person is hoarding, is hoarding. Sorry, sometimes my mouth says one thing and my head says another thing, and it really frustrates me because it's like, chill. Well, this woman or this female is holding this cord and is sending it out into the universe. So this is not just about many wishes, it's about one in particular. The Two of Pentacles is clarified by another major arcana, and this is the High Priestess. And look at this energy. We see another female energy with her eyes closed, looking within, concentrating. It feels like she's concentrating or she's meditating. But she's looking within because it knows, or she knows somehow, that it's time to look inside herself, and maybe she'll find the answer there. She's channeling this energy in her crown, right? So it tells me that she's connected, she's aware. And this energy is behind this Two of Pentacles. And this Two of Pentacles, when you look at it, is talking about something needs to be equal or balanced. We could be out of balance. Maybe our actions are out of balance, right? Because it's Pentacles. And we have this force behind this Two of Pentacles, which is motivating us to close our eyes and look within. And of course, in order to hear our intuition or whatever our inner being says, we're going to need silence. In a crowded room, it ain't going to happen, right? We're going to need concentration. And the Page of Wands is being clarified by the Six of Wands. So there's a lot of wands here. There's a lot of wands in the table, which talks about desires, right? So we're in the path of attaining a goal or a wish that is really important to us. And we want to win. We want triumph. It's important. I feel like the feeling of I need to succeed really speaks to me right now. especially with this card, and especially with this wands standing here, this page of wands. It's like, although I may show up or may appear as someone young, I'm not so young. Maybe I'm choosing to be. And it is important to me right now to make the right decision. But I have more than one. With the Two of Swords, I have more than one. I see two options. So I must be in a crossroad. Yeah, I must be in a crossroad. I have two choices. But I want to make sure that whichever choice I make is the correct one. And it somehow has to do with my desire to attain something and this concept of balance. And this could probably very well be because what I left behind in the near past is being described by this Eight of Swords, Seven of Swords, and the Devil energy. This is past, this is future. So with the Eight of Swords here, I might have been stuck or put myself in a situation where I ended up at a dead end, trapped, and it's triggering a lot of fears and insecurities. So this is more me in the way I'm handling this situation. So whatever situation I have going on, which is all about relationship, because this is the reading of relationships, love and relationships. Whatever is happening with me in the near past, or whatever happened to me in the near past, I was in a situation with somebody that challenged me in a way that put me in this place where a lot of my fears surfaced. And I felt cornered, I felt trapped. But I can get out of this. Just how I got in, I have to get out of it, but I have to find my way out. And as I'm finding my way out, I'm feeling defensive, right? So little by little, right, I get out of this mental state and I start feeling better. However, I'm defensive. And it has to do with this Devil card, which talks about temptations, addictions. They don't have to be always about drugs. It could be about emotions. It could be habits. Maybe it's the habit of needing to, like give more than I get, or maybe having to receive more than I give. There's something about this. Maybe I rush too quickly and, start creating expectations that ultimately I feel cornered into not knowing what to do because whatever I expected is not happening. So this Devil energy could very well be about habits. But when I clarify these cards, we have the Queen of Wands clarifying the Eight of Swords, the Seven of Swords being clarified by the Queen of Swords, and the Devil energy being clarified by Seven of Cups. So now I have more clarity. And when I see the Ace of Swords clarified by the Queen of Wands, it could very well be this wish. It could very well be what this Queen wishes to attain with this Star. Her passion, right? Her passion is coming out. Her passion. My passion is in a relationship as well. If I don't have one, to have a relationship. My passion is to regain what I lost. Especially with the Seven of Cups here. Because it seems here that there are options. There's more than one cup. This could very well be talking about the person that you're dealing with. You could have either had more than one option in love, Virgo, as well as the person you're thinking of, because we've chosen one. You know, we're looking at one specifically. So this could go on both ends. But we have a Queen of Swords here, who she seems to be, although she's being represented, I should say, although she's being represented by the Seven of Swords, behind it, she's trying to find clarity. And she seems quite relaxed. She doesn't seem as defensive in this Seven of Swords. But she's searching for truth and clarity. So this could very well talk about two people being involved in a competition between two people and not know it. And I'm saying and or, could very well be two aspects of a person, the passionate side and the clarity, right? Truthfulness. I want passion, but it has to feel right. And it has to do with this devil here, which it seems that by the nature of this energy, that this cup had some issues, some challenges. It's not really telling me exactly what it is, but there is some sort of addiction here. Could very well be, you know, a soulmate connection that is hard to break from, you know, break away from. So this devil energy could be challenging me by forcing me to reckon with my own insecurities and my own attachments. And although it doesn't feel good, but I have an opportunity to let it go. And now in the heart of the reading, I've been able to shift this swords where it's led me into this crossroad to choose, while 6 of them are crowning my reading. So I see here a division of these swords where somebody gets away from feeling trapped into moving forward, overcoming this devil energy. The devil energy comes with numbers are important to me. Okay, so the devil energy is realizing our limitations, definitely. And after the devil comes the Tower. But the other major arcana that are showing up in your reading is the Moon, and on the bottom is the Hangman. Okay? So we definitely overcome this devil energy, because here I see the Two of Swords and the number 2 in Tarot with them in the major arcanas is the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is clarifying this 2 of Pentacles. So we have 2 and 2, master number that talks about intuition when it comes to how to reconcile the way we think to the actions that we're going to take. So this is all about our decision, right? So it's saying that our decisions we'll find them, the clarity to find that decision or the choice of how to move forward. We're going to find it within ourselves through the knowledge of this High Priestess, which now tells me that this Page of Wands is not so innocent. It may be innocent, but it's wise, because this page has recognized at some level, maybe overcoming this devil energy, that it has power, it has strength. Overcoming our own limitations, Virgo, it takes a lot of strength and a lot of determination that ultimately is part of our power. It helps us regain our power, our wholeness. So I feel like this High Priestess means a lot here in the heart of this reading. But in the crown is being illuminated by this beautiful Moon card, another major arcana. And out of all the decks, of the different decks that I have on this table, look at this Moon card. You have this feminine archetype. And in each side, she has a wolf. They're walking side by side. And then you see this image of the full moon, but you also can see that, it's showing the transformation of that moon. And to me, this is representing an aspect of the moon power, but also the power of the intuition, because we know that moon has to do with intuition. It has to do with our emotional reality. And then I went into Native American culture and beliefs about totem medicine. And guess what I found? I want you to hear this, because this is powerful stuff. Let's see, what did I do with it? Give me a minute. I thought I had it open, but apparently not. Okay, here it is. Okay. So basically, wolf medicine, it symbolizes loyalty, intuition, freedom, instincts, intelligence, perseverance. I remember when I did readings for Virgo, the first 3 months of this year was all about patience, perseverance, patience and perseverance. And the Empress was going through a major transformation. I remember that. So as you could see, there's a lot of feminine energy here. And the qualities of that feminine energy is all about intuition. It's that inner knowing that we have within ourselves that is tied to our power. It is also tied to the energy of the all-knowing. And we don't always understand it because it doesn't communicate in the same way your mind does. But it definitely let us know in a given moment what's best for us. Not in the way we're used to mentally, but it does tell us, doesn't it? So basically, wolf medicine represents the teacher, holding the value of social connections, and the pathfinder. Wow, incredible medicine. Now it says, wolf conserves its resources by outwitting others, avoiding confrontation through giving subtle gestures, glances, or growls that get to the point across. So it does it in a very subtle way. It informs you or lets you know in a very subtle way of what it's doing or what it's feeling. Wolf teaches you to hear your inner voice and find your personal power and strength by facing your deepest fears and practicing sincerity. Powerful. So as you could see, this wolf medicine is connected to the energy of the moon that inspire us to go within and to search deep within ourselves for all of these things that I just described. And I feel like this moon energy, it's all over your energy. And also all over the energy of the person that you're desiring to affect or thinking of you. And we know that with the moon also represents fears, secrets, possible deceitfulness. So there's a lot to the moon. But here it comes with the wolves. So this is not just about the bad stuff, which Master Numbers talks about. You got to look deep within because there's more knowledge, there's more information to gain that could be good or bad. But here, we're understanding, right, the aspects of the moon energy. We know that when we have a full moon, people goes crazy. But the wolves also sing in that full moon. And listen what it says here about the wolves in connection to the moon. Once you're quiet enough to hear your intuition, It will speak to you as loud as wolf howling at night. This inner hall, it is telling you to defend your boundaries and trust your instincts. And my question to you is, Virgo, do you really trust your instincts? Have you learned how to listen to your instincts? Are you aware of your inner power? Now, in the heart of the reading, I have 2 and 2, master number. And we know that it's all about our intuition. And we know our intuition comes from our solar plex, right? Gut feeling. In the crown, we have this moon with these 2 wolves. And these 2 wolves carry a specific knowledge. One is saying 6 of Wands, and the other one is saying 6 of Swords. So look at this. Heart desires and our definitions. And we know that our mind is one of the aspects of who we are that helps us analyze the data that we're working with so that we can understand things a little bit better, right? So it's our concepts, our definitions. And in the way we organize those concepts is going to determine whether we can materialize or manifest our desires. And with the 6 of Wands here, we want to win. We want to do the right thing. We've been at this path for quite some time. This is nothing new. But if, for whatever reason, there are things that are repeating in your life time after time, time after time, I would imagine that you're at that point, Virgo, where you really want to find the right answer. You want to find the secret or the knowledge that will help you to overcome that repetition. Of course, every challenge is an opportunity to overcome this devil energy that sometimes is triggered by the weaknesses of somebody else, possibly a soulmate. Sometimes we're not able to recognize our own insecurities and fears. Sometimes we can. But when we can't, then we get the help of somebody else. And those fears can cause a lot of this. So we have here, right, crowning 6 of Swords and the 6 of Wands. The 6 of Swords is telling us that little by little we've been able to reconcile whatever insecurities or doubts we had back there, understand a little bit more of the nature of this challenge. We've entered into the realm of the moon, which is inspiring and, forcing us to go within and listen to our intuition so that we can, this time around, be guided in a way that we can succeed. So I clarify these 3 cards. Well, the 6 of Cards is being clarified by the Page of Swords. There is another page. The moon is being clarified by this 9 of Cups. And here is a young fellow with flowers in his hands. And when I look at this guy, it just kind of makes me feel someone who is in love with love. It gives me that kind of feeling, even though it's a night. But he's not on his horse. He's sitting down, chilling. Maybe he's waiting for love to come to him. I mean, he's somewhat prepared because he seems to have here like a picnic going on. Yeah. And he looks quite young, doesn't he? And then we have the 6 of Wands being clarified by this Nine of Pentacles. And in this card, I see this woman, right? A lot of feminine energy in this reading. So I feel like we're sort of learning the quality of the feminine within us. And we don't have to only be women, right? And this person has chosen a coin here that has, it looks like an owl. Possibly an owl. An owl, it's hard to tell. So this Knight of Cups is telling me that I've made a choice. I've chosen somebody. But the Nine of Pentacles, it also talks about our freedom. So maybe the choice of this Knight of Cups, who's always been in love with love, has chosen to go on its own. It wants to explore new horizons. But he's studying something because the Page of Swords is facing him. And maybe through the page, he wants to give a message. Or he wants to say something. But he's under the effects of this moon. And maybe the moon does not gives him enough confidence to be able to express what he feels. So he rather holds back and wait and study the situation enough to maybe overcome also a Six of Swords. I mean, this is in the crown of the reading, so this could happen to either people. But ultimately, this Knight of Cups makes a choice, and it's making me feel like it decides to move on and maybe find a choice in the future, because whatever went on in the past, he just wants to leave it behind. You know, he had to go, because with the moon here, I would say, let me see, give me a minute. With the moon here, it comes with the 18. So 18, so I might have, yeah, I had to go into the hang mode, because in the bottom he's in the hang mode. So from the hang mode to the moon. So this person had to distance itself, take some time to figure himself out. By the connection with Virgo, it triggered this self-awareness of having habits that it creates sometimes some sort of problems. Maybe I promise too much and deliver very little, or maybe I get involved with too many people at once. So, you know, I had to become more clear, because I had too many options at once coming at me, and it felt overwhelming. So, you know, I have to go through this change, and I have to stop this, because this doesn't feel very good. So I needed time, because facing our own limitations and our own shadow side is not something that can be done overnight. So they also had to face this devil energy just like you. They had a tower moment too. And the tower moment is that aha moment. Those aha moments, those epiphanies that sometimes we feel like, oh my God, it was always staring in my face and I didn't see it. And then, you know, once you go through the, what people call the darkest night of the soul, there's a new dawn and a new day, where we have the star card, which is clarifying this Two of Swords. And then after the star comes the moon. And the moon talks about timing. Timing. It's all about timing, which is kind of ironic, because time does not exist, but we're going to pretend that it does. It's all about timing. It's about knowing what I now desire, being clear, being effective about my delivery, right? Because I'm now, you know, I release a big load. You know, I let go of a big load, and that helped a lot to clear my head and to also know what I want. And all of this I'm finding out through this process of the moon, because the moon is powerful. If we resist the energy of the moon, we're in trouble. And this is why sometimes you have people going to the hospital. I have a daughter that is a nurse, and she says, Mom, in moon, during the full moon, it's just insane. All the kind of crazy people that we get in. So yeah, so the moon makes us a little wacko, especially if we don't know how to handle our own emotions. So definitely, and I feel like the challenge for some of you, Virgo, is because in some cases, somebody distanced themselves, right? And at some point, you also had to refrain from taking initiatives. Because in the bottom of the reading, this person, the things that is not telling you comes the Six of Pentacles. But I feel like this has to do with this Two of Pentacles, right? So this concept of balance between giving and receiving, or doing the right thing. So when I look at what this person is not telling you or hasn't told you, you have the Six of Pentacles next to this Hangman, and then this Four of Swords. So in the crown, we have a Six of Swords that is showing us that little by little we're figuring things out and moving away from turbulent waters. But in the bottom, we have Four Swords that are not really touching us. They're not really affecting us enough to make us feel this way. But, I'm thinking, I'm contemplating, I'm resting, because there are things that I need to figure out or I need to reconcile. And in that process, or in that state of rest, as I clarify this energy, well, the Fool is clarifying the Six of Pentacles. The Hangman is clarifying the Hangman. So we have a double whammy here. A lot of energy. And this is the energy that explains the silence and the separation, how long it has been. Because whatever lesson is being learned here, it cannot be rushed. And then the Eight of Pentacles is clarifying this Four of Swords. So somebody here did not say or did not communicate their decision of moving away or going away. This person chose to be single. Look, this is somebody who, in that time of rest, as they were facing all of this changes and transformation, right? We have to, it's not just about change. We also have to learn how to adapt to those changes. And the outcome of what we're becoming, then we have to put it into practice. You cannot just say, well, I had a major change in my life, but I kept doing the same things that I was doing before that change. I have to be able to now demonstrate with actions the way I change. And that's something that takes time. Sometimes it does. Sometimes, well, I don't know, when people have near-death experiences, they come back completely changed. Sometimes, not all the time. And they say it, it changed my life forever. But not every case is like that. So here I see somebody who it's definitely aware that their connection with you was not healthy because there was no equal giving and taking. There was no equal exchange. They recognize that in this hang mode. Maybe they didn't tell you, or maybe they're not telling you, but they recognize that. But you see, they're recognizing it in their own space, in their own reality. But here somebody's getting ready to take a risk, okay? The risk is, I'm going to go solo. I'm going to go on my own. Maybe I'm just not there. Maybe I haven't reached that point to be able to have what it takes to come back and face Virgo and tell Virgo what I feel. I've changed, but not enough to do that. I do recognize that I didn't treat Virgo well, or maybe I was not truthful or deceitful, right? But I'm not yet there yet. So I'm just going to move on and pretend that this did it. Sorry, Virgo. Too much energy. I'm going to pretend that this didn't happen. Because they're looking here at their 8 of options. I mean, the 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, it's the 8 of options. That's for sure. Sometimes my mouth just has, its own, energy, its own power. A mind of her own. I try to talk and it just says whatever she wants. So 8 of Pentacles, somebody who's looking here at options. But I'm looking at my options because I want to make sure that the next time around, I do the right thing. In this 8 of Pentacles, here we're thinking and we're reflecting upon, hey, whatever I've been doing in the past, this doesn't work for me anymore. So I want to change. But at the meantime, I want to look at my options. And the options is, do I want to remain involved in a relationship? And I may have more than one option, or do I want to go alone? And I feel like somebody goes on their own. In the meantime, you're in this side of the moon, and you are realizing this thing of intuition, right? The power of the high priest, the power of the moon. And whatever you're reconciling and recognizing this time around is definitely making you stronger. I see a stronger Virgo, enough to be able to reestablish or to recover as a Queen of Wands. Big difference between a Page of Wands to a Queen, right? I've learned something this time around. And I'm taking that with me. This Knight of Cups cannot compare to a queen. But eventually, he does become a king. Because in the near future, I have this Queen of Wands, this beautiful cup. And as you can see, it's coming from the mud, this lotus flower. And then we have this King of Cups. So this cup here was the result of a major transformation in my life, where I had to change quite a bit to get to this place, right? I had to go through a lot to have a deeper understanding of what this love is, of what this cup represents in me. And when I look at this, I feel like either this king is dragging this cup behind him and denying that it's there, and this queen is going after her cup. So I decided to clarify these energies. And for the queen, the 2 cards that came out was the 8 of Wands. And the other one was the 10 of Wands. That's how she becomes a queen, right? She finally finds the clarity through her instincts. Powerful energy. Enough to sense which path to take. And she makes a choice. Probably to move on. She's able to release and surrender because now she's trusting her intuition. She's not so much in her head. And please, I'm not just talking here about a she, okay? She trusts enough now in her intuition. Maybe something that she was not consistent before, but now she does. And she's taking that with her because she knows that her instincts are never going to confuse her. Her mind may, but not her instincts. And she's going after her cup. When I clarify the king, well, I have this 6 of Cups and this 5 of Pentacles. And I remember, okay, 6 of Cups. I feel like this is somebody this king knows and remembers. So this Knight of Cups that was behind the effects of the moon becomes a king by choosing to move on alone, because that's where he sees his victory, his way out of all of this. It's time to let go and start fresh, moving on. And as he moves on, and here's where the contradiction is. So I want to be single, but I drag this cup behind me, right? I want to be single, but I have this huge cup behind me, which tells me that, no, I want to, I'm remembering somebody, or I've met somebody very special, but I'm just negating it. And this is how we divide our energy. This is how we create conflicts for ourselves. I had the other day a customer, or a reading where the person says, I want to go after my soulmate, but my belief says I will never find it. So you're doing things to find new people, but inside of you you're like, oh, I'm never going to find it. Isn't that contradiction? And what you're being asked here is, before you make a choice, right, make sure that you reconcile what you think and what you do. And the only way that you can do it is looking within. Intuition. You find it within. Your answers are within you. That's a very powerful statement. And a lot of times people don't give a fuck, because they just want it. Give it to me. Give me the recipe. I don't want to hassle. I don't want to work hard. Just give it to me and I do it. And this is how we give our power. And we think it's funny. And those are the people that the majority of the time, when they're in a hot mess, they're crying and complaining. And a lot of times, those are the people, when I do these readings, that they criticize me because I'm not your typical tarot reader that says, oh yeah, you're going to find love. Oh yeah, you got it all. Of course you got it all. But you have to know how to keep it. You have to know how to maintain it. You have to know how to hold your power. So here we have this poor King of Cups realizing that, oh my God, wait a minute. How stupid can I be? I want this, but I already found it. And there's that find of 5 of Pentacles. So now, what is the energy that is coming across in the heart of your reading? Well, you have a Queen of Cups, you have a Knight of Wands, and you have a 9 of Pentacles. So you have a Knight, you have a Queen, and you have a 9 of Pentacles. So I recognize this 9 of Pentacles. It's in the crown of your reading next to this Knight of Cups. And this Queen of Cups basically has a lot to do with this King of Cups here. And it's connected to that Knight of Cups. And you know how I know? Because when I clarify this Queen of Cups, the Moon card is clarifying it. So is that guy up there thinking like a knight, not like a king or a queen or an emperor or an empress, is thinking under the effects of the moon like a knight. Somebody who is in love with love, but is afraid to do the hard work and chose to move away because he thought that that was the best option. When he moved away pretending that he was a king, he realized that, oh shit, wait a minute. The treasure that I'm trying to find, I already found it. This Knight of Wands is being clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. So somebody here is coming back and is ready to demonstrate, or so it seems, to demonstrate that I'm real, I'm ready to do what it takes. But this Knight of Wands comes with this flair of, I like to be alone, I like to be independent, while it's being clarified by the Two of Cups. Well, I'm glad, Virgo, that here is somebody coming back, and probably has to do with this wish that you've been asking, right? But I have a little bit of an issue with this Queen here, because she's being clarified by the Moon. And we know that the Moon also talks about secrets and not being honest. It doesn't always have to be bad. It doesn't always have to be about deception, right? Or a cheater. But is somebody who definitely enjoys keeping things to herself, in this case, to herself, because that's just part of who they are, or maybe they just still part of this devil energy. So yes, somebody's wanting to come back. Now, I asked the Oracle, now that we have this story here quite clear, so I asked the Oracle, well, what kind of advice do you have for Virgo? And here comes the Ten of Cups, the Knight of Swords. So now we have 3 knights on the table. Or maybe all of them. No, we have 3. Swords, Cups, and Pentacles. And Wands, we have all the knights. And then we have the Lover's card. So the Oracle basically is saying that when this cycle is completed, meaning Virgo, you being able to integrate the information that you need in order to make you more powerful and more successful, as well as this person that you're dealing with, there is somebody here that comes, there's a new beginning where it's going to be definitely what you're looking for. This wish is going to come true. However, you're going to have more than one option. There are some of you that with this Two of Swords, you may have the option of either moving on by yourself or taking somebody back. And there are going to be some of you who are going to have more than one person, ideal mates. So for those of you who's been doubting whether you're going to find somebody else or not, you don't have to. However, you have to do the work. And it's all about the inner work. Knowing yourself, knowing thyself. It's about knowing thyself, the power within thyself. And removing the doubts, removing the fears, removing the insecurities. This is all about self-empowerment. Okay, Virgo, this is all I have for you. I hope you liked the reading. Thank you so much for being here. The best of lucks to you.